they can't express themselves. And the third one is, it's that anger.
Yes.
Right? You agree with that?
Yes.
Because, I mean, you've endured more than I have, but I endured enough.
Yes.
So, is there any talking them out of it when they start?
Oh, no. No. You have to make up in your mind, so you have to talk to God. God is first in your life.
Yes, he should be.
You know, that's the only way. You have to go to church. You have to learn to trust God and believe that he can bring you out of a situation before you get to that point that somebody end up dead, somebody end up murdered.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, your kids can get murdered.
Yeah.
I have seen in situations, the men will shoot the kids to hurt the woman.
That's right. That's right.
You know.
That's right.
No child deserves to lose their life, leave before it get to that point. Even when they first start making preparation to get yourself together and get out while you can.
Yeah. And you know another thing too that ain't so cute, you know, stalking. It's called stalking. I was stalked in Atlanta.
Yeah, I was stalked in North Carolina.
And you look up, and stalking is simply, oh, he loves me, so I look up, man, he's outside my door. Why is he out there? Oh, because he just loves me. No, he's trying to make sure you're not seeing anyone else.
Yes.
And that nobody else is coming there or live there.
Yes.
And I look up at work, and there this guy stood. I would go to my car after work, and there he stood.
Oh, my God.
I left home and went to live with a church member for a while in the yard, sitting in the yard, and then he passes.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And then I went back home, and he came back by the house, and it was just the grace of God that he didn't die. Because see, I understand when you get to the point of, and I go, now this is long before you, because I'm older than you. But there was a time that, well, I was engaged to him, and I broke off the engagement, and it wasn't physical. It was some statements. It was some emotion. It was some mental stuff. Well, actually, it was emotional. Well, I can tell you what he said. He told me that if we got married, which I felt was premeditated, that I would have to support him, spousal support, because I made more money than he did. And the day he said that, I carried the dress back.
I know.
Because to me, that was premeditated.
Yes, sir. And controlling.
And it was going to possibly get worse. But
Yes.
I mean, until then, he was just so loving and so darling, dear, and so doting, and you know how they do.
Yes.
Or you know how we do.
Yes.
And then when I said, I'm calling it off, you know, I really didn't appreciate, I really don't think you love me. I think you're trying to use me. And oh my goodness. And see, the deal with what men do is, you know, the first thing they say is, you got another man. No. Listen, people. Listen, men. Listen, women. It's not that. It's you.
Yes.
We're tired of you and the way you treat us.
Yes.
And the way you mistreat us.
Yes.
And the way you don't do for us. And the way you don't talk to us. So at any rate, that was the beginning of the saga. Look up, as I said, I would look up at work. We didn't have security. Oh, I went to the judge years ago. Yeah, I mean, God, this was in the 80s, I'm guessing. And the judge said he has to strike you, Miss Richardson, first. And I thought, I don't think so. And then maybe a couple more years, I had some friends who worked at the city of Atlanta, at City Hall with me, not in the same department, but with me. Girl was taking her child to school one day. Husband stepped out from behind the bushes and killed her. That kind of stuff. And so therefore, I knew, because the judge said he had to strike me, I knew wasn't nobody go hit me. I really didn't know that, and I not hit her back, you see. So then that's how the abuse started. That's how the stalking started. I look up at work, I'm writing, and there he stands. Because we didn't have security like that at that time. It wasn't as prevalent, and it wasn't as dangerous for women as it is now. Yeah. So And as I said, I would go be walking to the parking deck. There he'd be. He never said anything. He'd just be there. Stalking. You know, and it was just beyond belief. And
I know.
but I'm gonna say this. So I understand the burning bed. I understand why that lady set that bed on fire. Because when you're helpless,
Yes. Yes.
when you're helpless, I know they say the preacher said that, but when you have, when you call the police and he dares you to call the police, or if the police is your husband and doing it to you,
Yes.
unless there is an agency, you're helpless.
Yes.
And it almost seems hopeless. But Vera is here to tell you today, it's not hopeless.
No,
And you are not helpless.
No.
Faith Deliverance is here. She's there, and other agencies are there.
Yes. They have an agent all over the world.
Quinchao County has one.
Yes.
Up at the courthouse.
Yes. They have them all over the world. They have them in all the surrounding counties. Butler County, Andalusia, Troy,
Yeah.
you know, Dozier, you know, you have help all around. Just don't stay there because you feel like you don't have nowhere to go.
And endure and take
until you can't take no
Thank
more
you.
and you retaliate back.
Uh-huh.
Always report domestic violence, because if you do not report domestic violence, it's starting to get worse and worse, and you can get to the point that you would snap and you would kill your
Seriously. And you'll go to jail because you didn't report it.
Yes,
Because see, that's kind of like, I'm not going to say what I was going to do that
Yes.
day, but anyway.
because that was
Let me just say, God's grace stepped in that night.
okay.
God's grace stepped in that night. And that's why I knew that God loved me. He stepped in that night. And I didn't see that God until 2 years later.
Okay.
And we were chatting, you know, we were talking, I was laughing and talking because, and I was thinking to myself, Lord, honey child, to him, you don't know. Because you really can. People can push you to that point.
Yes, and you would snap and kill them and don't realize it. You can take a life in a split second.
Thank you. And that's the way it is with arguing though. The little argument, you might love each other, but you got this love respect. And then you say this and they say that, and whoever has the worst temper, then they pick up the knife and you're gone. And then it's, oh God, baby, I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? They're gone.
Yes.
And that's a sad thing.
Yes, we want domestic violence to stop. Whoever needs to get help, please get some help. Help stop the violence. Help stop the murders. Don't do it. Walk away before you get to that point. Please, I beg you. Because life is too short. You didn't give your mate her
Life is
life,
precious.
and God gave it to them. So please stop killing the kids, the wives, the husband. Walk away, please leave.
And the adage, if I can't have you, nobody will. How would you think of somebody, how would you feel if someone said that to you? If I can't have you, nobody will.
That's somebody's mother, that's somebody's child, that's somebody's son. Please stop the killing. I beg all of y'all, please.
You know, I think when you look at what the solution is, and we'll talk about that later, prayerfully, the answer really is God.
Yes.
The answer is to stop forsaking you go to the ball games, you do cut the mow the lawn on Sunday and Saturday. You do everything but go to God's house. When you go in there, you learn how to get along. You feel Jesus because Jesus is love. And you learn the way.
Yes.
And then, but what's so important? I hear the Holy Spirit saying, you not only learn the way to live, but you learn the way to forgive.
Yes.
You can forgive that person who sexually abused you long
Yes.
ago that's making you angry. You can forgive that dad who walked out on you,
Yes.
or that mom who walked out on you, or that uncle who raped you, or that grandmother who wasn't there for you, or those persons who made you work, who made you miserable, who mistreated you in school. All of those things, all of those people who talked down to you, that made you have the anger that you have
Yeah.
now. You have to let it go.
Yes.
You have to learn to forgive.
Yes.
And that's what God says in the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer says, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. You know, you got to forgive. Because if we forgive, if we don't forgive, and when you don't forgive, you become bitter
Yes.
and meaner and
Yes.
hatefuler than you've ever been.
Yes.
And then suddenly you're a ticking time bomb waiting to explode.
Yes. You got to learn to forgive. You cannot let nobody block you from getting your blessing from God. You have to forgive. No matter what they did to you, you have to forgive it, because you have to let it go. That's the only way you can move on with your life.
Well, actually, because you're stopping your blessings. Because you're not forgiving that person who cut in front of you, or that person who stole your husband, stole your wife, took your boyfriend, did this, did that, all that stuff that they did to you. Let it go. I've learned to. And this is, and I'm going to share how my version of this. I was preaching a message, and I really am saying a lot tonight, I know, but it's just so real, and it has to be said, and people need to know, because I'm going to do a series later coming up on Revelations, but this is the deal. The Bible says that when Jesus comes back, that there's going to be a separation of the wheat from the tares. Then it goes on to talk about, on down there, that there's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And even those people who are cremated, you will have a new skeletal system. And the worms, the cankerworms, the worms are going to constantly eat through your skeleton daily, because your soul is there, and you're going to feel that pain, weeping and gnashing of teeth. You're going to be tormented forever. So when people really do really, really hard things to you, all you got to say, I just say, okay, the worms will get you. And I know that's crazy, but it's really the truth, saying, I'm giving this to God. Vengeance is his, and he glories in it. So I'm going to let it go. You shoot your best shot. You do what you're going to do now, because see, the thing about this is, when people mistreat us, they'll just get setting us up for a blessing. If you get out of that mess, there's a blessing waiting for you.
Yes.
If you forgive somebody, a blessing is waiting for you. Living witness.
Yes.
Living witness. Okay, go ahead. I just kind of went on tangent things.
We're celebrating survival. Women's, men's, children. Get you some help. Call for help. Don't let your mom, the children get shots. Leave if you can. If you can walk away somehow. Start talking to God. Get on your knees and start talking to Him. You need to talk to God every day of your life.
Yeah, for real. Prayer changes all.
Prayer changes. Prayer brings you out of a situation that you think you never can get out of.
I know you know. Amen.
You know, I have been through a lot in life.
How did you get out, by the way?
I just packed my clothes and left.
Wow.
I just packed and I left. I moved to Ohio and stayed in Ohio for 10 years.
Okay.
And that moment in time, I said I would never be abused no more. That was my second time of being abused. So I am at that point in life that I will never let another man mistreat me or abuse me.
Okay. So now, okay, twice.
Yes.
How did you allow the second time?
I don't know. I mean, it's easy to get in. Baby, I love you, and baby this, and you know, and you get in them situations. It's easy to get in them, but it's not that easy to get out. And when you can start getting to the point that you can't stand to look at your mate, you hate your mate, you can't even stand to be in the same room with him, let's on the same bed, it's time for you to go and get away.
Yeah.
You don't even feel comfortable that where you live in is supposed to be your home.
Right. Right.
You know, when it gets to that point, it's time to go.
Yeah. I heard you talk about bed, and that's another one that says here, okay, domestic abuse is willful intimidation, physical assault and battery, and sexual assault.
Because you get to that point, you do not want your mate to touch you. Your flesh just start crawling. That's how bad it can get.
When he gets in the bed, yeah.
Yes, I mean, you don't even want to be in the same house with them, let's on the same bed. But by the grace of God, I was strong enough to walk away.
Yeah.
And I would tell men, women, children and all, young ladies, young men, don't do that. If you love someone, you do not put your hands on them. You do not abuse them with your mouth, because your mouth, your tongue can damage a person for life.
That's true. That's true.
Please stop and get you some help. Because they have all kind of help out there. Don't be ashamed. Go get you some help. Everyone don't have to know that you're getting help for yourself if you need help. You don't want to have kids and bring them up in that. You're not helping the kids. So please, all men, women, children, boys and girls, get help. There's plenty of lines. Dial 911, you can't dial no one else. They have shelters. They have shelter for everyone to be safe. You don't have to go back. Because that man that tell you he loves you, or that woman tell you she loves you and hit you, they do not love you. You don't want to be mistreated because they don't want to be mistreated.
That's it. That's it.
So please get help. There's the police station, there's the fire department. Please, someone, just get help from someone. Like I said.
The pastors, the counselors too.
Yes.
Counselors as well. Yeah.
Yes, your pastor.
Truly.
You know, it's help out there. You can come talk to me or my cousin.
Come talk to me too. Oh, and I'm serious about that. No, I'm serious.
You know.
Right.
I have a Facebook page, Celebrating Survival. Like I said, it's October the 8th at 5 p.m. right there by the multiple building, right there by the fire department in Luverne by B&B Bank.
Okay.
All the surrounding counties are welcome to come. And you're welcome to speak if you would like to. Are you welcome to come and listen?
Yeah.
You can learn a lot by women and men speaking on survival and prevention.
Do you want to share another incident of some of the ladies? You don't have to give their names or some thing that went on with them.
I mean, a couple of ladies that I know. One lady I know, her daughter was shot down in her yard in front of her daughter and her fiance. And she's very sweet. And she said she wrote a book and it said, That Night.
Oh, that's the title of the book, is That Night. Okay.
And you know, no, it's that day. That day that her daughter lost her life.
Wow.
She said that was the worst day of her life when she got that phone call because her daughter lived in Mobile. And that her daughter had been killed. She said she started screaming, her husband ran in there, and she told him, and then she just started beating on the neighbor's door. And she said it was two young men, when nobody opened their door, I think it was like midnight, and two young men opened their door and let them come in, and they took care of them until her other children got to her and her husband.
Okay, so they were where? The child got shot?
And she lived, I think she lived in Foley, and her daughter lived in Mobile.
Okay, so they were home.
Yes, the daughter was home, and one of her children was out there, her daughter, and her fiance was in the yard, and she had let the dogs loose, and she simply said to the young man driving down, slow the car down. They goes up the street, turns around, comes